Hey, Clint, you got a bundle up there for me?
Yes, sir, Hoss. I think so.
Good. Been waiting for it.
Thank you.
Hey, come back with that.
These kids are getting plumb out of hand. I'll get it for you.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Just some sandwiches in it, that's all. Permit me to introduce myself. I'm Sam Washburn, and this is my wife, Martha.
I'm happy to meet you. Just call me Hoss. Where are you folks planning on staying?
Well, we hadn't decided yet. Maybe you could suggest a place.
Well, yeah. The Palace Hotel down here. It's the best place in town.
Oh, Sam, I'm afraid that's a shade too expensive.
Martha, don't look on the dark side of things. As the poet says, it's always darkest before the dawn. I'm sure in a town this size that I can obtain a position that's worthy of a man of my talents.
You gonna try to get a job here?
Well, why not? I hear this is a very prosperous town.
Not anymore, it ain't. See, we had a couple of real bad mine disasters a few months ago and created a bunch of widows in town. They got no means of support, no money. As a matter of fact, some of those kids right there are probably from some of those families.
Oh, how sad.
We're doing what we can for them, even trying to find work, but there just ain't enough jobs to go around.
Sam, whatever are we going to do?
Well, I'll tell you what, ma'am, you're mighty welcome to come out and stay at our place until you make up your mind what you want to do.
Thank you just the same, but we can't accept charity.
Do like you want to, sir. If you change your mind, and I hope you do, I'll be down here in the general store. There's plenty of room at the Ponderosa.
Did you hear what he said? The Ponderosa. That's the name of his ranch. You know what that means?
What?
We're in luck. The Ponderosa is the top outfit in the whole Nevada Territory. Young man. Well, sir, we've changed our minds.
Oh, good.
I have a feeling that Lady Luck is about to smile on us. Hey, Martha?
I hope so, Sam.
Well, ma'am, we'll do what we can to help her smile a little. Hi, Paul. I want you to meet some friends I brought in from town. This is Mr. and Ms. Washburn. This is my Paul and my brothers, Adam and little Joe.
Mr. Washburn?
Paul is, where's Hop Sing?
Oh, he's in his room sleeping.
Good. There ain't gonna be no more complaining about the food, Paul.
What complaints?
Ms. Washburn here, Paul, is one of the finest cooks this side of the Mississippi. Yes, sir. I reckon you folks are tired. I'll show you on up to your room.
Could I take a peek at the kitchen first?
Yes, look, Joe, you take Mr. Washburn up and show him the room.
Huh?
Just do like I say. Take the bags and take him up and show him the room. That's it. You go right on up.
Come right with me, Mr. Washburn.
You just make yourself right to home in there, Miss Washburn.
Now, what's this all about?
Oh, I can explain everything. Now, don't get sore.
I'm not sore.
This poor old couple were stranded in Virginia City. This flat busted, had no place to turn, Paul. He lost all of his money in some bad investments, and they needed work, Paul. What else could I do?
But, Hoss...
Oh, just a couple of weeks.
Hoss, don't you understand? Hop Sing. He doesn't like anybody in his kitchen.
Yeah, I know it, Dad, Bernie. That does worry me, I guarantee you. Adam, you're better at this sort of thing than I am. Why don't you talk to Hop Sing and explain it all to him, huh?
No, I'm sorry, brother. You got yourself into this, so I'm afraid you'll have to get yourself out.
What a heavenly kitchen. All those shiny pots and pans. Oh, I just can't wait for tomorrow morning to try out my special recipe for popovers. If you only knew what it means to me to be in a real home, even if it is only for a little while. Thank you, Mr. Cartwright. Good night, all.
I go again. I'll talk to Hop Sing. Well,
Hop Sing, we could use a little more of that jam.
Hop Sing not cook. Hop Sing just silver polisher. You got new cook, you let her get it.
I'll get it, Pa.
Oh, Mr. Washburn had his breakfast yet?
Oh, yes, hours ago. He's outside sawing wood.
Sawing wood? You have to be doing that at his age. Mr. Washburn.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Cartwright.
Good morning, Mr. Washburn, but you must stop this immediately.
Well, I just won't hurt to relax for a while.
Mr. Washburn, sawing wood it's much too hard for you.
Oh, I fully intend to earn my own keep, sir. I'm not a man to sit idle while my wife is working.
Well,
Sam, why don't you come in and have a cup of coffee and some popovers?
Later, Martha, later. You know, my little wife wouldn't be working now, except that I overextended myself financially.
yeah, Hoss mentioned something last night about some unlucky investments that you'd made.
Oh, he did, huh? Well, the truth is, I invested all our savings, even mortgaged our little home, in a small but very promising copper mine back in Utah. Now, to make a long story short, in no time, I ran out of money. And the joke of it is that all I needed was $200 to buy proper machinery, and I'm sure we could have hit pay dirt by now.
$200.
Yeah.
What would you say if I offered to lend you that $200?
That's very generous of you, sir.
Oh, it's not generous at all.
As the poet says, neither a lender nor a borrower be. No, Mr. Cartwright. Thank you kindly, sir.
Well, Mr. Washburn, if you change your mind, that offer still stands.
Oh, Sam, I'm so glad you didn't take that $200.
$200. That's chicken feed compared to what I have in mind. I was merely baiting the hook.
Oh, Sam. Well, it's getting late, Sam. Are you coming to bed?
No, dear. You run along.
Are you going to sit out here all night?
I don't believe so. My infallible instinct tells me that the fish will soon be rising to the bait.
Well, mine tells me that maybe all you'll catch out here is a cold.
Evening, ma'am.
Evening.
Mr. Washburn.
Evening, Hoss.
Mr. Washburn, I'd like to talk to you a minute if I could.
Good night, Martha.
Good night, Hoss.
Night, ma'am.
Well, what's on your mind, Hoss?
Well, Mr. Washburn, it's about that copper mine.
How'd you know about that?
Paul told me all about it.
I shouldn't have shot off my mouth to him about my troubles.
No, sir. I'm glad you did. As a matter of fact, I've been thinking about it. And well, it's sort of hard for me being a stranger and all.
Why, Hoss, you a stranger? Only this morning I was saying to Martha, if I had a son, I'd want him to be a fine, upstanding young man just like you. Now, you just feel free to speak your mind.
Thank you, sir. I will. Well, Mr. Washburn.
Call me Sam.
All right. Sam. Been thinking about that $200.
Now, stop right there. I know what you're going to say, and I don't want to hear it.
Sam, you promised me I could speak my mind.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
Well, the fact is, Sam, if you'll listen to reason, I got a little proposition. See, I've been saving some money, and I got a little bit of my own. And what I'd like to do is, I'd like to loan you that $200.
Well, since you're like a son to me, I got half a mind to accept your offer. By George, I will. But I must impose one condition.
What's that?
That we become equal partners, 50-50.
Sam, that's crazy. I mean, after all the time and work and effort you put in to develop that property?
Then the deal is off.
Now, come on, Sam, be reasonable.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll give you 25%, nothing less. And tomorrow morning, partner, you're getting a deed to make it legal. Now, is it a deal?
It's a deal.
Just one thing more, partner. If you'll permit an old man to retain just a bit of his false pride, don't tell your father and your brothers about this. Well, I'd feel terribly embarrassed if they knew that I had borrowed money.
It'll be our secret, Sam.
Thank you. Well, goodbye, Ben.
Bye, Sam.
I can't remember when I've had a happier 2 weeks. I'm going to miss you all very much.
Well, I hope it's not long before you're back to see us again.
Martha, if you don't hurry, we'll miss the stage.
All right, Sam. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, yeah, there go two nice people.
Yep, I'm sure gonna miss them.
Bless you all.
We'll never forget what you've done for us. Goodbye.
Bye.
Mr. Cartwright. Oh, Mr. Cartwright.
Yes, Hobson.
Hobson giving notice. I quitting at end of week.
You're quitting? Oh, now, don't tell me that you're still angry because that poor, sweet woman did the cooking for a couple of weeks.
Oh, no, Mr. Cartwright. We very big friend.
Good.
And Mr. Washburn, he going to make Hobson rich. See? This is deed to land mine. I pay him $50 for it. Then he give me 10% of his copper. Oh, so sorry. Hobson promised not to tell. Not even you, Mr. Cartwright.
I don't understand. All he needed was $200, and I gave him that for 25% of his copper mine. I don't understand.
Well, I think I do. Did he also insist that this be a private affair, his and your secret?
Yeah, he said he'd be embarrassed
He'd be caught. Because he felt that if you told me, then he wouldn't get my $200. Now, he made the same deal with me. Oh, Sam left here $450 richer than when he came.
$650. He told me I was going to get rich on my small but sound investment.
Well, at the rate we're shelling out, I think Sam Washburn's the only one who's going to get rich. Well, Pa, at least you didn't get hooked in this swindle.
Count me in.
Well, Sam Washburn ain't getting away with it. I brought him here. I'm gonna bring him back.
That old rascal. Do you realize that we are now the proud owners of 110% of a copper mine? Shake, partners. First, you sell us 110% of a copper mine. And then it turns out there is no copper mine. Sam Washburn, do you know what you are? You're a low-down swindler.
That's a harsh word, Mr. Cartwright. An exceedingly harsh word. Entirely unwarranted. As the poet says, to err is human, to forgive divine.
Well, you forgive me. Well, what the devil would you call a man who comes along and swindles his friends out of $800?
$850.
$850.
I would be inclined to withhold judgment until I was sure of my facts.
Come on, out with it, Sam.
Please, Sam, without the poetry.
As you will. It began a short time ago. Martha and I were looking forward to secure our sunset years. And innocent babes that we were, we fell into the clutches of a smooth-talking operator. He gave us a glowing account of a mine that was supposed to have copper in it. So we swallowed his story, hook, line, and sinker, whereupon he departed for parts unknown, along with our lifetime savings.
So, since somebody swindled you, you figured, why shouldn't you swindle somebody else, like us?
Oh, please, Mr. Cartwright, don't be too hard on Sam.
Never mind, Martha. We can't expect Mr. Cartwright to believe that I borrowed the money temporarily.
Borrowed? That's a new word for it.
Well, you were old. That's the truth. With this money, I intended to open a small business in San Francisco to recoup our losses. I anticipated returning the money shortly with considerable interest. Martha knew nothing about my plan until we were well on our way to Virginia City. She begged me to turn back. But if I'd only listened to you, sweetheart, I wouldn't be facing a jail sentence now.
Jail? Oh, no.
Don't worry, Mrs. Washburn. We're not going to send him to jail. And we're doing this for her, not for you. We got our money back, and, well, maybe Sam has learned his lesson by now.
Thank you for being so lenient. I guess we better go, Sam.
Wait a minute. Where are you going to go?
Don't know. Things look hopeless now, but if we're lucky, maybe someday we could start a small business.
Hey, I got an idea. Paul, listen to this. Look, how would you like to have a business right here in Virginia City?
Oh, that would be wonderful. Wouldn't it, Sam?
Yes, that'd be fine.
But that isn't possible, is it?
Well, I think it might just be. I happen to know that old man Baxter wants to sell his general store and retire. Now, why don't we let the Washburns borrow back the $800,
$850.
$850, and start off all new right here in Virginia City?
Oh, you folks. I just don't know what to say.
Oh, you know, it might just work. And it certainly would give Sam a sort of a chance to redeem himself.
What do you say, Sam?
Thank you, Hoss. Thank you all. Oh, if there was just some way I could repay your generosity.
Sam, there is. Just do a good job.
Oh, no, that's not enough. I know. I'll give you all some of my land in Utah as collateral.
Sam, that isn't necessary. The store itself is sufficient collateral.
No, sir. I insist that each of you accept 10% of my holdings as security for your $200 investments.
What I get for my $50?
You, Hab Singh, you get the same, 10%. Now, let's make it legal. Gentlemen, if the store is successful, I insist that you consider this land a gift. Never let it be said that Sam Washburn ever forgets past favors. Yes, sir, folks. Take a good look at that name up there. Square Deal Sam. And remember it, because not just today, but every day, the man behind that name will be offering you such dazzling merchandise at such rock-bottom prices, well, you'll think I've lost my mind. And as the poet might say, when you enter that store, you'll discover what's in store for you. But to celebrate this great launching, you men are asked to come up and have free beer on the house. And for you fair ladies, there's Martha's famous coffee and sandwiches. Come on and help us celebrate. First come, first serve.
Well, you gotta hand it to old Sam. He's generous.
Well, he can afford to be with our money.
Does, like Sam says, you gotta give a little to get a little.
Well, I've heard all I want to hear. I'm leaving.
Me too.
What do you think you're doing, boy?
Nothing.
Then take back those sandwiches. That's stealing.
What's the trouble, Sheriff?
Oh, Danny here stealing sandwiches again.
I wasn't stealing nothing. You ain't gonna let him take me to jail, are you? He said everybody could take a sandwich. Didn't you, mister?
Sam, don't you go getting soft-hearted with a kid like Danny. Just let him think he's found himself a sucker, and he'll take you for everything you've got.
Well, like he said, I told everybody to come and get it. Let the kid go, Sheriff.
Oh, all right. Maybe you made a mistake letting the boy off so easy. Then again, maybe you didn't. All I know is if you saw the conditions under which these kids lived, you'd understand why Danny and the rest of his gang are always on the streets. Then try and persuade this town to do something helpful about it, and all of a sudden everybody's deaf. Oh, it's a real problem.
That was a real kind thing to do, Sam. I'm beginning to believe that you like kids as much as I do.
Martha, kids get on my nerves just as much as ever. Only the law gets on them even worse.
And I hope it was worth it, Hop Sing. You look like you need about a week's sleep.
Last night is a very bad night for Hop Sing. This is Charlie Gibson. He's a very smart poker player.
You mean to tell me you were playing poker with a professional gambler like Charlie Gibson?
Did you lose your wages again, Hop Sing?
More, much more. At this time, I lose all wages and deed to land Mr. Sam give to me.
Well, giving up that deed isn't such a great loss.
But that's what I figure. This is Mr. Gibson. He not so smart. He pay Hop Sing $100 for a deed to pay off poker debt. I make $50 profit.
Pay you $100? Hop Sing, did you tell him there was copper on that land?
Sure. How else he buy it? He believe me when I tell him all Cartwrights own land too. Pretty smart businessman, hey?
Oh, yeah, you're real smart. Well, what do you think Gibson's gonna do to you when he finds out there's no copper on that land?
Even so, he get bargain. You each pay $200 for your deed.
Hop Sing, don't you realize you can be put in jail for what you did?
Paul, maybe I should ride into town and try to buy that deed back from Gibson.
Gibson wouldn't sell you back that deed, not if he thinks there's copper on that land. What you might do is send a telegram to the land office in Utah. And then when they send you the information that there isn't any copper, show that to Gibson as proof.
Yeah, well, I'll go in after breakfast. I hope I can get to Gibson before he starts any trouble.
Well, Hop Sing, do you think you've learned your lesson?
What's wrong? Hop Sing have beautiful straight. How he know Charlie Gibson have full house?
Good morning, Mr. Washburn.
Yeah.
Good day, Mrs. Washburn.
Good day.
Yes, sirree. The woman's touch is sure what this place needed.
Thank you, mister.
Gibson, ma'am. Charlie Gibson. And this here's my pal, Barney Shanks.
Howdy, ma'am.
How do you do?
Now, I come in for a half a dozen twists of tobacco for this here special pipe. And a pound of 10-penny nails, some twine. I forget anything, Barney?
A lantern.
That's right, a lantern. We've been working copper diggings, such as there are around here. I understand copper mining is one of your interests too, Mr. Washburn.
Copper?
Now, come on, Mr. Washburn. I happen to know that you've got considerable copper holdings in the territory of Utah, even sold part to the Cartwrights.
Is that a fact?
Well, I see you like to play it pretty close to the vest, Mr. Washburn. Now, how about dropping your little act and selling me the rest of that copper mine?
The only thing I own in the state of Utah is some empty land.
Well, then, seeing as how I already own part of your empty land, be it known by these presents that for the sum of $50, the bearer is hereby declared owner of 10% of the Ogden Valley real estate holdings. Signed, Samuel T. Washburn, witness, Ben Cartwright.
Well, I'll be hornswoggled. Well, I sold this deed to the Cartwright's cook, Hop Sing. How do you happen to have it?
He paid off a poker debt last night.
What beats me is how you got the idea that there's copper on that land.
Copper or no copper. You want to sell any more of it?
I might be interested if the price is right.
We're not interested in selling anything but the merchandise in this store, Mr. Gibson. Your purchases amount to $1.03, unless you don't happen to have that much money on you.
If you care to change your mind, Mr. Washburn, you'll find me at the saloon.
Why did you have to butt in like that, Martha? They were begging for it, and I could have gone on to something really big.
Oh, Sam, you're always on to something really big. Oh, I'm so tired of these big things that never turn out.
I suppose you think that Sam Washburn would rather end his days as a petty shopkeeper. Well, my dear, you've got another think coming.
Sam!
What'll it be? Give me a whiskey.
Changed your mind, huh?
All right, boys. Here's the lay of the land. That parcel is all I have left of my choicest holdings. I'll sell it all to you for $1,000. Oh, it's a bargain, at double the price.
A bargain? Why, it's highway robbery. How come the price went up?
That's my proposition. Take it or leave it.
He just wants to do a little horse trading. Go on, call him back.
Washburn, would you come back here for a moment, please? got a counter proposition for you.
Don't cost nothing to listen.
Now, why don't you sell shares in that there valuable parcel of land of yours? Let's say, as a starter, 1,000 shares at $1 a share. Well, that way, folks not rich like the Cartwrights could afford to get in and make a little money, too.
Say, that's a brilliant idea. I wish I'd thought of it myself. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Mr. Gibson. Since it was your idea, I'm going to give you 10 shares free and clear if you'll start the ball rolling.
You got a deal. All right, men. Listen to me. I got a proposition for you. For $1, 100 cents, you can buy a share in the richest copper land in the whole Utah Territory. Now, here it is, right here on this here map.
I'll take 5 shares of that.
5 shares, Barney. Would you assist me, please? Put Andy down for 5 shares.
Andy.
All right, men, now gather around me. Come on, all around me. Now, this is the chance of a lifetime, men. A chance to invest in America's future. If you want to get rich, this is it.
Martha, how long will it take you to pack?
Oh, Sam, what did you do?
Well, I told you I'd make it big someday, didn't I?
Where did you get all that money, Sam?
Well, now, let's just say that I came out ahead in a little stock transaction.
But Sam, what about the Cartwrights?
We'll send them a postcard from Paris. Now, you start packing.
Oh, it's some customers.
Oh, well, cover that, cover it. Well, what can I do for you, my boy?
It's on the list.
Hey, you feeding an army? It'd take me half a day to fill this.
What do you expect? There's 8 more of us kids besides Ma and me.
Oh, well, I haven't got time to fill this now. Come back later, huh?
Maybe they need it now, Sam. 9 children. It must be wonderful to have such a large family.
They ain't all family. I only got one brother, Tim here. Ma, she takes care of the other kids, like Jesse here. While some Ma's out looking for work.
Martha, we haven't got time to listen to the story of his life. We got more important things to do. Martha, we haven't time.
Well, here's your answer, Hoss. In your inquiry, land ownership, no evidence of any deed recorded to Sam Washburn or Ogden Valley Real Estate Holdings. Land you describe owned by the territory and occupied by the territorial prison.
Oh, boy. That's just great. Thank you, Norm.
Oh, what's the hurry, Hoss?
I gotta go see Sam Washburn.
Well, if you're looking to get in on your friend Sam's big land deal, it's too late. A little while ago in the saloon, I had to put down some mighty mad folks who lost out on it, too. And the way they were fighting to give him their money, you'd have thought he was offering them the whole of Utah free.
Well, he dang near was. Read that.
You don't have any money. How did you expect to pay for all this?
Well, we kind of figured since Mr. Washburn here give us all them sandwiches, we was chancing maybe he'd let us take all this stuff and wait till we could pay him.
All right, all right. Let him have it. Let him have the whole store. We don't need it anymore.
You mean it, mister?
Take everything you can carry now and come back for the rest later. You know, the sheriff said that big kid would try to make a sucker out of me. Yes, sir, you gotta hand it to that boy. He's got the makings of a real con man.
I'll take care of that money, Sam.
Oh, here now, Sheriff. That money belongs to me. You see, I got it because I sold the rest of my land in Utah.
Come off of it, Sam. There ain't no land in Utah, and you know it.
Well, Well, caught in the act. Gentlemen, I'm forced to confess that I'm a sentimental old fool. Like you, Sheriff, I was trying to find a way to take care of our unfortunate urchins in the street. And only today, right out of the blue, came the answer. A foster home.
What? Oh, brother.
By using a slight diplomatic deception.
What you pulled was an outright swindle.
Don't be so technical, Sheriff. I raised the money, didn't I? And as the poet says, the end justifies the means.
Well, I don't think the judge will say that. Come on.
Oh, no, Sheriff, I'll sue you for false arrest. That money was collected to try and get decent shelter for our ragged lambs, our unfortunate orphans.
Now, that was the wildest one I've ever heard yet. Why does he make up those yarns, anyhow?
That's Sam. Before they reach the jail, Sam will be believing it all. You'll see, he'll convince himself he's crusading for the children.
But, ma'am, he just invented that story just then to cover up his swindle.
That's right, Hoss. But that's the difference between Sam and a genuine swindler. A con man knows he's lying, but Sam doesn't. The only successful swindle he ever pulled was to bamboozle Sam Washburn into thinking he could be a swindler.
Well, ma'am, why does he keep trying? How come he ain't satisfied to just stay here with the store?
Don't you see, Hoss? Sam wants to be a big man, but he doesn't know how. He always bungles, like today.
Well, ma'am, he's in bad trouble this time.
Hoss, he's too old to stay in jail. And he can't get along without me, even if he won't admit it. What am I going to do without my Sam? Oh, you've got to help me, Hoss. Please help.
Well, ma'am, I'll do what I can. That's a promise.
Oh, if only he won't try that wild story on the judge.
That's right, Your Honor. With these funds, I intended to build a home away from home for the deprived waifs of our area, to provide them with shelter, sustenance, and supervision. Such a foster home would not only return them to the paths of righteousness, but it would make them into useful citizens to whom all Nevada would point to with pride. And what's more, it would put Virginia City on the map as a community with a heart.
Put him away, Judge!
I am touched with the nobility of your motives, Mr. Washburn. In my 20 years as circuit judge, never have I heard a more moving story. For a moment there, you almost had me believing you. Had there been a grain of truth in your testimony, I might have been inclined to lighten your sentence. But as it is...
Your Honor, there might be some truth in what Sam says. And if you'll allow it, I've got a witness I'd like to bring in.
Now, after the prisoner has already pleaded guilty to the charges?
Well, if I can prove that his idea is a good one, will you consider that when you sentence him?
Very well. You may step down while the court hears the new witness.
Your Honor, this little feller's name is Danny Sipes. I'd like to ask Danny some questions, if I may.
Go ahead.
Danny, supposing there was a decent home here in town so you and the other kids could have a place to stay while your mamas are out working or looking for work, Would you be willing to do that?
Sure, as long as it's got real windows and a roof that don't leak. There's enough food to go around.
I don't think you'd have to worry about that.
That's what you think, mister. Until Mr. Washburn here came to town, nobody ever cared if we ate or not. I just want to ask you something. Supposing there was this home, and Mr. Washburn has to go to jail, who'd run the place? Some skinflint who wouldn't even give a hoot about us?
Well, sir, I don't know, Danny. Of course, we ain't got that far yet. We still got to collect the money.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
All right, Danny. You can go now.
Oh, Sam, those poor kids. I wish I could help them.
If I may, Your Honor, I'd like to say a few words. Now, whatever Sam Washburn's motives were, and I'm not saying they were honest, he did prove one thing. And that is that the only way to get any money out of the folks in this town is to appeal to their greed and their selfishness. Been a lot of talk these last months about helping some needy families in this town. Well, that's what it's been, just a lot of talk. Because when it came to raising money, we couldn't even raise a plugged nickel. But let some complete stranger come into this town with a crazy, get-rich-quick scheme, and the folks in this town almost get themselves killed in their hurry to part with their money. Of course, the saddest thing of all is these children. Foolishly enough, with all this talk about now these kids' hopes and death.
ain't got time to settle down. Our work is just beginning. You heard what the judge said about imagination and ingenuity. Martha, I'm going to make this home famous throughout the United States. Maybe throughout the whole world.
I know you will, Sam.
Well, we did it.
Congratulations, Sam.
Thanks.
Don't you worry. Those kids get out of line. I'll be around with a club.
You better be careful, young man. That new home may turn out to be a good place for you.
Especially if they throw away the key.
Oh, I don't know how to thank you all. You're the nicest family I've ever known.
Sam?
Yes?
It's $2,000 here, and more is pledged.
Oh, that's fine.
Sam, remember you're on probation.
Martha. Hoss, my eternal gratitude. That was a brilliant idea. Bringing Danny and the kids in just at the crucial moment. How did you ever happen to hit on it?
Well, Sam, as the poets say, necessity is the mother of invention.
Oh, come on, dude.
Here's some ice cream. Sure, you have ice cream. Yeah, they treat right away.
Morning, Laurie. Hoss, what are you doing in town so early this morning?
Oh, Roy, I had to come in and pick up some supplies for a little family celebration we're having out at the place. Matter of fact, I was going to come by your place and invite you out.
Well, fine. What's this celebration all about?
Well, Adam's coming in on the noon stage from Greenfield. He just closed a big timber contract up there with two of the biggest contractors in the whole territory. Got a 2-year contract.
Is that right? Say, that'll be a great thing for the town, won't it? And Adam, he's getting to be quite the businessman.
Yeah, he sure is. Paul's mighty proud of him, too. You know, Roy, I wish I knew how he does it. That burn, it seemed like everything old Adam turns his hand to just turns out smooth and perfect. Never a hitch. Yes, sir? Just seems like Adam ain't got no problems ever. Or troubles. Now, me, if I'd have been the one that Paul sent up there, there ain't no telling how much trouble I'd have got into before I got back.
I know what you mean, Hoss, but I believe you got to look at it this way. Adam may get a lot more things done than you, but he don't have nowhere near as interesting a life as you.
Yeah. I reckon you could look at it like that at that. Well, I gotta get this stuff out the hot sale. See you tonight, Roy.
So long, Hoss.
So long. Get up.
Sheriff Mundy said to be sure this gets off on a Virginia City stage.
Cyril, the Virginia City coach, passed through here over 20 minutes ago. Next one ain't till tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, shoot. But these are special trial papers that had to get off today. Sheriff Mundy's gonna wring my neck.
Well, Clyde will be stopping to rest the horses at Chambers Grove. If you cut over Pennant Peak, you might be able to catch him there.
I better catch him. If I don't, I might just well keep on riding right out of the territory.
What are you stopping here for? Anything wrong?
We always stop here to rest the horses. Oh, you can get out and stretch your legs if you've a mind to.
1,000 pardons, senor, for this inconvenience. We shall work fast so as not to delay you any longer than is necessary.
Very thoughtful of you.
Oh, it is nothing at all. Venga, sus muchachos.
Oh, ye verdicts! Ere I run you through!
Ay, carambas. One. What is it?
I don't know.
Hear my words and mark me well, you miscreant blackguards. There'll be no banditry tolerated on these public highways.
Huh?
Juan, you see it too?
See?
Prepare ye to defend yourself! Get the horses, quick! Full tilt! Charge! Right, Chihuahua! Phil! Phil! Oh, justice and so justice and virtue triumph again.
Yeah. Thank you for helping out.
Nay, never thank me, lad. Such is the way of a knight. Defend the helpless. Bring justice to evildoers, right all wrongs. Such are the vows I made when I took my knightly oath.
I see. Pardon my curiosity, but what is all this about, huh? Who are you, really?
Forsooth, you must be a stranger to this land. Everyone the length and breadth of Camelot knows the name of good King Arthur.
King Arthur of the Round Table?
Verily the same. I see you had heard of me.
Oh, yes, everybody has heard of you, the noble sire.
Well, now, about what happened today, I just as soon you didn't mention it to anyone. You see, the court gossips, a delight in the ridicule of their king being unhorsed by common highwaymen.
Never fear, sire. My lips are sealed.
Mm-hmm. Verily, it took all 20 of them to do it, and they had to sneak up behind me at that. And nonetheless, I should not have been so careless as to allow them to outflank me.
Happens with the best of nights, sire. The heat of battle and all that, you know?
Yes, precisely. Well, you'll be safe enough now, lad. I mustn't tarry. I must be off in pursuit of the brigands.
Sire, don't you think you've done enough? I mean, why don't we just notify the nearest sheriff and let him handle the bandits from here on? I mean, after all, there's only one of you and 20 of them.
Oh, lad, you cut me to the quick. Wouldst have me give up the pursuit merely because I'm outnumbered? Lance, never fear, I shall bring them to heel, though the number be legion. Come, noble Gwendolyn. Fare you well.
Hold it right there, mister.
I don't know what you're thinking, but if it's what I'm afraid it is, you're wrong. I didn't do that.
Well, if you didn't shoot off that lock, what did you shoot?
Well, now, if you give me a chance, I'll explain.
You'll get your chance. What happened, Clyde?
I don't know. I was up checking harness and somebody hit me from behind. I didn't see a thing.
Whereabouts was this fella?
Well, he was back here stretching his legs.
He was behind you, huh?
Well, yeah.
Look, if you'll just listen a minute, I can tell you the whole story.
You save your story for Sheriff Munsey. I'm taking you back to Moore's Flats with me.
Look,
and it's gonna take a heap of tall talking to explain your way out of this.
But the fella...
So he used your gun to shoot the lock off the strongbox. Then what happened?
Well, he opened the box. But before he had a chance to take any of the money, Well, I mean, while he was looking in the box, somebody rode up and scared him and the other bandits away.
There wasn't nobody there but him and the driver when I got there.
Now, just a minute, Cyril. You let him tell his story. Now, son, who was it that scared them away?
Well, it was a man.
There wasn't no man there when I got there.
Well, they had already left by the time you got there.
You mean Cyril was a man that scared him off?
Yeah. Yes, you see, they heard his horse coming and panicked and ran away.
Better lock him up, Cyril.
Now, wait a minute. I am not a stagecoach robber. Now, I'm on my way to Virginia City from a business deal in Greenfield. Now, look at that. Those are timber contracts worth thousands of dollars. Now, there is a check for $2,000 in advance on the contract. Now, you just wire Sheriff Coffey in Virginia City, and he will vouch for everything I tell you.
You know Roy Coffey?
I've known him since I was a kid. He'll tell you. I'm no outlaw.
All right. I'll get a wire off to Sheriff Coffey right away. We'll see what he has to say. Meantime, you better just stay right here in one of our cells, just in case. You won't be able to get a stage for Virginia City until tomorrow now anyway, and, well, I'll save you the price of a hotel room. Cyril? Cyril?
Very good.
Well, Roy.
What?
Just came in to meet Adam on the stage.
Well, that thing made a great big chocolate cake, Roy. You gonna be there?
Ben, I wouldn't look for Adam if I was you on the noon stage.
What do you mean?
Well, he's been a little delayed. In fact, I just got this telegram from Sheriff Muncie over in Moore's Flats.
The holy man that calls himself Adam Cartwright. Claims to know you. Can you vouch for him? Please forward description and full particulars, Sheriff Muncie. What's all this about?
Well, I don't know for sure, but there's probably been some trouble over there, and Adam being a stranger and all, the sheriff is just holding him till he can check out his record.
You mean old Adam's done gone and got himself into some dumb trouble?
Well, Adam probably ain't done nothing at all. It's just standard procedure in a case like this. As soon as Sheriff Muncie gets my reply, he'll turn Adam loose. He'll be able to get that stage out of there tomorrow afternoon.
To put him in here sometime late tomorrow evening.
Yeah, that cake sure is gonna get stale before then, ain't it?
Is that all you can think about at a time like this, cake?
I was thinking about that chicken pot pie, too, Paul.
Well, Gwendolyn, all the world's a stage. And one man in his time plays many parts.
By Joe, what a joust. How many of the villains did I slay, lad? Did you count them yet? 10, 20?
I want you to stand right there and listen to me very carefully. We're all through playing Camelot. Now, I humored you last time, and I ended up in jail. The sheriff thought that I was trying to rob the stagecoach.
Ah, but you assured him you didn't, and he let you go, knowing your word was your sacred bond. So, verily, truth and justice always triumph in the end, lad.
Yeah, well, now, look, here's what we're going to do, see? We're going to go back up there and pick up the strong box.
Straight.
And we're going to see about the stagecoach driver, and then all three of us are going to ride back into Morris Flats and tell the sheriff exactly what happened.
Absolutely unbent.
But you put that thing down. You haven't listened to me at all. You haven't heard a word I said.
Zounds, what a temper.
Yes, I have a temper.
No,
You know-
not you, lad. I'm referring to the lands, not a scratch on it. Look at that. The temper of Toledo steel.
Would you please stop babbling and listen to
I
me?
heard what you said. You want me to go with you to the sheriff? Well, I can't. If I let him capture me, that'll be the end of it. It'll be all over. They make me go back. Now, I must be off in pursuit of yon bandits. My knightly honor is at stake. Would stand between me and my sworn duty? Stand aside, knave.
Look, I know you mean well, old fellow. But you are dangerous.
Dangerous.
To yourself and others.
Of course I'm dangerous. I'm a veritable holy terror when I ride against evildoers. My daring exploits are known worldwide.
Well, we can tell your exploits to the sheriff. Now, come on.
No, I see it all now. You're in league with those bandits. You're trying to prevent me from wreaking my vengeance upon them. Truly, a bad spell must have been cast upon thee.
Sire, please.
No more talk. Stand back.
Arthur, don't go after those bandits alone. Now, that tin suit will not stop bullets.
Never fear, lad. Justice shall be my armor, and innocence my shield. Come, Gwendolyn.
Arthur, come back here.
You sure got a lot of guts, mister. You ain't too long on brains if you think you're gonna get away with this a second time.
Well, let's not go through this again. I'm just lugging your back.
Save it. Let's see how far your story gets with Sheriff Muncie this time.
If I was trying to steal the strong box, why would I lug it back to the driver?
My guess is that after he wrecked the coach, he seen that he couldn't get away. So he brought the box back and he cooked up this wild story just to cover himself.
Now, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Makes just about as much sense as anything you've said, son. Twice in a row, a band of outlaws ride down on a stagecoach, knock out the driver, take down the strong box, shoot the lock off the box, and then they ride away without taking anything. And you say it's because something or somebody scared them off. But you won't tell me who or what.
if I told you? You wouldn't believe me.
Well, you ain't got nothing to lose, boy. Because I ain't believed a thing you said so far. Now, son, why don't you just tell me the truth? I'm your friend. I'm trying to help you. But if you insist on holding out on me, if you refuse to tell me the whole story, well, you can see for yourself how guilty it makes you look. Now, boy, why don't you just tell me what really happened? Come on, son. You can trust me.
All right. All right. You want to know what really happened, huh? The whole story.
Now, I have heard some wild stories in my time. That feller takes all the prizes.
And he seemed so sincere, too. Perfectly serious about the whole thing. Just as though he believed everything he was telling us.
Psst. Fear nothing, lad. Thy unjust incarceration has not escaped the notice of King Arthur.
Am I glad to see you.
I'll have thee free in a nonce.
All right, you stay right there and you can explain this whole thing to the sheriff.
Sheriff! Sheriff! Come in here, quick!
The sheriff mustn't see me.
Sheriff! Sheriff! Come in, Sheriff! There's somebody to see you! Arthur! Arthur! Arthur, come back here! Arthur, where are you?
What is it? What's wrong?
He was here, outside the window.
Who was here?
Arthur! King Arthur! He was outside here. Look, don't just stand there. Go get him. He can't move very fast in all that steel armor. Go out there and catch him.
Now, just calm down. Cyril, you run out there and see if you can find King Arthur. Now, everything's going to be all right.
King Arthur? What's he look like?
Well, you can't miss him. He's the only knight in armor you'll find out there, I guarantee it. Go get him, hurry!
Go on, Cyril. Now, don't you worry. You just relax. We'll take care of everything. Why don't you lie down for a spell? I'll be right back.
Yeah!
Arthur, you. Cyril, you come back here and put that rifle up.
But you told me to go out there and look for...
I know what I told you. I was just trying to humor him, trying to settle him down. We got a real problem with that boy, Cyril. Why, he's as crazy as a jaybird.
Ain't no doubt about that.
I don't understand it. Sheriff Coffey spoke so highly of him, and most of the time he talks and acts like he's got good sense. But he's got a real thing about that King Arthur story of his.
You know, he reminds me of my Uncle Cleve. One day he talked and acted just like you or me. Next day, caught him out in a lake in a rowboat, going after ducks with a bullwhip.
Did he ever get over it?
Yes, for several days he went along just fine. Then one afternoon he started making noise like a billy goat. Before we could catch him, he started running and butted his head clean through the barn wall.
Oh, my.
Never was the same after that. Sheriff! Sheriff, he's back! Shh! He's back in the window! Sheriff! Now, Sheriff, you better do something or he's gonna be butting his brains out and he's gonna do it right here in your jail. Sheriff! Sheriff!
Now, settle down, boy. Just settle down. You're going to be all right.
Where is that fool deputy of yours? Arthur's still out there. He just popped up in the window again.
Well, I know he did, but he's gone now, and we ain't going to let him bother you no more.
Cyril! Why aren't you out there trying to catch him? What's wrong with you two? See what I mean, Sheriff?
why don't you just lie down and try to get some rest?
What kind of a lunatic asylum is this anyway?
Well, it'll have to do until we can get you to a real one. Cyril, you run down to the stagecoach office and you send a wire off to Sheriff Coffey in Virginia City. You tell him what's happened here, and you tell him to send that boy's next of kin here to claim him.
Sheriff, come quick. There's a brawl broke out in the saloon. Looks like there might be some shooting.
Oh, just nights like this, it makes me wish I could turn in my star.
Be of stout heart, lad. Thy liberation is at hand.
What are you doing?
I've come to help you.
Don't. I don't want any of your help. Just let them hang me. Or whatever it is they want to do with me.
Nonsense! You'll be free in the wink of an eye. Now, Gwendolyn, heave with all your might. Go! A slight miscalculation, lad, but I'll think of something else.
Stop that. Get out of here. I'm in enough trouble already.
Come on, lad, you're free.
Sire, I do not wish to escape. I like it here. I love it here, Arthur.
But I have a plan, lad, that'll fix up everything. It may mean the end of King Arthur, but we'll go out in a blaze of glory. Come on, lad. Camelot awaits.
Can't do this to me. I'm a taxpayer. Now you get quiet, Sam. We got a mighty sick man in there.
Where's this sick man you were talking about?
Well, sir, you're looking at him.
Well. Where's Adam?
Adam didn't get in yet, Pop.
What do you mean? Look, Roy said that when Sheriff Muncie got that wire of identification, he'd be taking the afternoon stage out of Morris Flats.
Yeah, well, he didn't, Paul. Me and Joe met the stage, and he wasn't on it. As a matter of fact...
I gotta figure something. I gotta get Roy to send another wire, straighten this thing out once and for all.
We already talked to Roy, Pa. He just got another telegram from Sheriff Muncie.
Well, what's wrong now?
Well, seems the sheriff wants us to come fetch Adam.
Yeah.
Fetch him? Well, what kind of nonsense is that?
Well, Port, it seems like Adam's been acting sort of peculiar-like.
Peculiar? And what do you mean peculiar?
It seems he's seeing things.
Been seeing things? And what kind of things has he been seeing? What kind of things has he been seeing?
Hoss, tell him what kind of things he's been seeing.
Well, like knights in armor and such.
Knights in armor? And Sheriff Muncie wired this? Well, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to fetch at him. And that Sheriff Muncie is going to be seeing things by the time I get there. I can understand that you might be seeing things. I can understand you seeing things. But I cannot believe that Adam sees things, not him. All right, let's go. Come on, let's go. And locked up inside that jail. And he escaped?
Just like he floated through the cell bars, and the cell door wasn't even unlocked.
Oh, come on. Now, that's impossible.
Well, we told you. He's crazy.
Ain't anybody tried to track him down?
Wasn't no point in trying to find his trail last night. I was just about to send Cyril out to round up some men for a search party when you came busting over.
Well, you got yourself your search party right now, so let's get going.
We'll head out for Pennant Peak. We can see all through the territory from there. And, Cyril, you take care of the office.
And Cyril, get on your feet!
Arthur, if this is a wild goose chase you're taking me on, I'm going to get me a screwdriver and take you apart, piece by piece.
Upon my oath, lad, I followed the villains and discovered their hideout last night. It was only by dint of sheer willpower I restrained myself from swooping down, capturing them single-handed. But I knew how much you'd want to share the glory of the event. So I went back for you.
Why didn't you tell me this back at the jail?
And have you tell that miserably inept sheriff?
Of course, it's his job to capture bandits, not ours.
Lad, wouldst forego the glory and the honor?
I wouldst. And so would you. As soon as you show me where this hideout is, we're going to get back to town and get the sheriff out here.
Then I shall most certainly never tell you where it is.
Arthur, as a king, you should know that courage should be tempered with caution at times. There's only 2 of us. And how many of them have you counted lately? 10, 20?
Oh, never mind how many I've counted. Look, if I could show you a way that the 2 of us could overcome a whole army, would you help, huh?
Oh, now it's an army, huh? Well, it's worth a look at least.
Lad, you may win your golden spurs yet. Onward!
Right.
There's him.
Look! Juan! The stagecoach is coming! You're sure that Tillman is not around? I searched all over. He's nowhere to be seen. I hope so. For his sake. Vámonos, muchachos!
we'll stop them.
No. No, we're going to go back to town, and we'll have a posse out here waiting for them when they get back.
Ah, you and that sheriff of yours. Why do you want him to have all the fun?
I am through arguing with you. Now, come on.
No.
Arthur, I hate to use force, but since we only have one horse
Now
between
look, Glad. How do you know the sheriff will believe you? He hasn't in the past.
I'll take my chances.
Why don't we capture yon guard, and then we'll take him back with us as proof?
No, that won't work. We don't know how long the others are gonna be gone. Now, if they come back before we can have a posse out here waiting for them, they're gonna see the guard missing, and they'll know something is wrong, and they'll head for the hills. No, Arthur, it just won't...
Arthur, come back here! Arthur, you...
Hail, yon gatekeeper! King Arthur doth approach! Thy castle is under siege, knave! Strike thy colors, lower the drawbridge, and yield! Madre mia! After him, Gwendolyn! Full tilt! Charge!
Arthur, look out! Ah, zounds, lad. The varlet was sturdier than I thought.
You really did it this time, didn't you?
By Jove, I did, didn't I? It was a lovely piece of work, if I do say so myself.
All right, Your Majesty. Now you come.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Now go get your rope and let's tie him up while I figure out what we're going to do about the others when they get here.
Don't worry about anything at all. I'll think of something.
I hope not.
Not a sign down here. Anything up there?
Not a trace.
Turned into a lifetime job if we're gonna have to search out all them little canyons.
Sheriff Muncie, your deputy told me I'd probably find you out this way. Ben, you mind if I join you? I got a stake in this, too.
Hey, Pa, Sheriff Muncie, you better come quick. Did you find Adam? No, but there's a stage down the road that's been robbed about a quarter of a mile. I think the driver's hurt.
He's gonna be all right, I guess. Beginning to move around now.
We can catch them bandits if we get right after them, and they could know something about your boy.
Sheriff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, now you make sure that he doesn't move around. You hear me? You folks stay right here. You'll be all right, and we'll be right back.
Sheriff. But Sheriff. Wait, Sheriff. I want to ask you something.
It'll have to wait for now, ma'am.
Oh, but I only wanted to know if you...
Sorry, miss.
Oh.
3 times.
I told you we was going to be very rich man.
What do you mean? We are rich!
All right. Throw down your guns and put up your hands. Or I'll pick you off one by one like fish in a barrel.
By thunder, it worked, lad! We got him!
Yep. All 20 of them.
Do I see what I think I see?
Citizens of Camelot, thy good King Arthur and his noble squire returned from battle with the blackguardly highwaymen subdued.
Yea, verily, yea, forsooth, noble Arthur, thou dost surely speak a mouthful.
Well, this is one time Adam's gonna have to do some fancy explaining to me.
Well, Sheriff, looks like you made yourself a real haul. Hey, what's that?
You tell me and we'll both know.
Methinks I've been away at the Crusades too long. None of my loyal subjects seem to remember me.
So there you are, Uncle Leo. Do you realize I've been looking for you for 10 days?
Phoebe, my pet. How lovely to see you. What brings you all the way out here?
What brings me out here? I've been worried sick about you, Uncle Leo. I should have known this would happen the day you lugged that armor home from the antique store.
How did you find me?
It wasn't difficult to follow your trail. When I came through Dawson City, the people there still hadn't recovered from your little visit. Half of them thought they'd seen a ghost, and the other half thought they'd gone crazy. Well, it's all over now. You're coming home with me before you get into any more trouble.
So, there we were, just Adam and I, against a veritable legion of outlaws. We knew the situation was desperate, and we knew that only we could handle the job. Well, sir, let me tell you.
Poor darling. He worked in a bank all of his life and hated it. He said his soul was dying for want of some excitement in life. He spent all of his time reading adventure books. Then after Aunt Emma died, he decided to quit reading and go find some adventure on his own. He didn't want to live out his old age without ever having known any real thrills or excitement.
He's a romantic old character, all right.
Does he do this sort of thing often?
Well, up until now, his adventures had all been make-believe. He'd go off for a day or two by himself. He'd come back with all manner of wild stories that he'd imagined. After this last outing of his, though, I'm really worried about him. If he keeps this sort of thing up.
Adam, we did have a time, didn't we?
And it isn't an experience that I would care to repeat anytime soon.
Well, frankly, lad, neither would I. But you know, for the first time in my life, I really lived. Oh, the thrills, the danger, the excitement of the chase, the intoxicating drama of combat. Oh, I wouldn't want to do it again, mind you. But the memories, lad. The memories I'll have for the rest of my life.
Are you going to be content with those memories, or stop worrying your poor little niece here with all your disappearing?
I promise, my dear, no more running away.
And King Arthur's word is his sacred bond.
Thank you, Adam, Mr. Cartwright, for all you've done. Stage is ready to leave, Uncle Leo. We have to go.
Very well, my dear. Well, gentlemen, bye-bye.
So long, King.
Goodbye, King. Take care of yourself.
Right, in you go. Oh, I almost forgot one more thing. Adam, come here. For gallant and meritorious service, and for an understanding and sympathetic heart, King Arthur doth bestow upon thee the noble rank of knight. I dub thee Sir Adam.
Goodbye, King Arthur. Hail and farewell.
Charge!
Peasants,